Hello,
Right.
everyone.
Right. Hello, podcast.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Yes, I'm very good. And you've had a good evening so far. Doing really well on the fundraising and
It's
everything.
going well. Yeah, I think it's a 5-3 now. I haven't even
Yeah.
got a car on the clipboard. I haven't got a picture of it's all gone wrong. I knew what would happen. Where's all the pictures of the cars gone?
Also well planned, but reality is always something different.
There's no one awake by the time I end up telling the stories about these cars. What have we missed so far? We've missed.
Oh, we've missed that.
That was 2965 because that's the CC. We've missed that.
That's somehow less than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's a 3 litre.
Yeah.
But that is technically the level we're on at the moment, a Griffith 500. So that can go.
I've just seen Katie saying she's got her funeral pen out to answer the quiz questions, which is an in joke for the people that came to our women's drivers meet.
I was going to say because that sounds.
I've got my patch on, everyone, on my overalls.
We've also missed 3,500, which was not a CC. It was the weight of the trailer that I was not legible for towing in this car and got pulled over. So that was going to be the story of the estate. We've missed.
I think my dad snapped a car in half before there was towing regulations by towing a car that was too heavy on a trailer that was too heavy.
All right, that's the last two. We've missed this one as well. I missed that car. How pretty is that car?
Yeah, I love the wheels on it. Yeah.
I wanted a 156 with these skirts and those wheels. Didn't have it very long, but I loved it. So that was 2498, but we've missed all that, and I've printed all that off for no reason. So there we go. So I'll do that tomorrow or later tonight. It is a 156, Sid. Yes. Yes. Right.
You were on the back foot already by the fact. I mean, it's brilliant that everyone's done it, but you'd raised so much money before things even started.
Yeah, they had. To be honest, I set my target, as I said to Charlotte earlier on. I set the targets. Originally, I set the target at what was raised last year, and then I thought, hang on. Like a couple of days later, I thought, oh no, hang on, is that being greedy? Is that like if you don't get that, are you going to feel crap that you didn't get that target? And even if you raise 1,000, it's 1,000 they didn't have. And you should be proud of whatever anyone. It's a different world. People might not have the money this year. Whatever. So I set the target a lot lower, and I thought, let's have some fun. Let's do it with engine CCs and things, But I started at 769, which is a Fiat Panda, which I still haven't done the story on. And then there was the Frog Eye Sprite, which I haven't done the story. I haven't done the story on any of them except the MR2 and Activa.
You might end up having to do a separate video after the stream that's just going through all of the stories.
We need closure. I'll do them over the. I mean, I've got Chris Pollitt has offered to come in at 4 a.m, which is just. And then we've got Matt Furious driving.
Yeah.
He's on at 5. So I've actually only got 1 hour now where I'm not talking to anyone. So I'm going to do a jigsaw.
Brilliant.
I don't know. I've got to do it. Whiteland Restorations brought it me. I don't know what it is. So I've got to find out by doing it.
Well, I saw the food that they got you, but I hadn't seen the puzzle.
Oh, man, I've got so much food here. I've got a crazy amount of food here. It's like jigsaw pieces.
But you don't know what you're supposed to be making with it.
Oh, but it smells so good. It smells of burnt wood. But right. So people who are in the chat here are probably wanting to do a quiz.
Yes, and so last
you are
year
the quiz master. People have been asking for this.
Yeah, I was quite pleased about how well last year's went down. Although
It was good.
we did throw some accusations to those who own Ford Falcons and Fairlanes, didn't we? So and
And
Fairmont.
Fairmonts, they're the worst
Yeah.
ones. Falcons and Fairlanes are a bit dodgy, but Fairmont, yeah, they're wrong uns.
Ian's just asked, do we answer there? Yeah, if you pop your answers in the chat, I'm watching them, and we'll go ahead.
What should we do? So if you do the question,
yeah.
I know I was going to say if you do the question, let people answer in the chat, and then I'll give my answer. But then if I see their answers in the chat, that might influence my answer.
You don't look.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going
me.
to block the chat completely with this Alfa Romeo that I don't own anymore. I now I can't see anything.
All right. Me and the hubnuts are in charge.
Oh God, yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, so I can't see the chat. So yes.
I think
we can all answer at the same time because I can't see what other people have said.
Ian. You should say I agree, Ian, right now.
What? That's fair. That's fair.
You'll probably smell a little bit at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Who's on the last person to come in here is Auto Shenanigans, which I'm very excited to meet because I've loved this channel for ages. But I'm going to be ripe when he comes in here. It's going to be horrible. I have got some spray
from Whiteland. Didn't involve any deodorant.
No, it involves stuff that will make you smell more, like food and cups of tea and yeah. But yeah, no, I've got deodorant here somewhere. I've got so much stuff. I mean, I could live here for a week. So no, I can't see any of the answers now.
Excellent. So last year we obviously did the cars that were owned by serial killers and criminals, and I thought we'd do something a little bit on the other side of it this year. So we're doing crime-fighting cars from TV.
I thought you were going to say cars owned by the victims.
No. Oh. Surprisingly, victims don't get enough coverage, and so
that's so unfair.
Yeah, we probably don't know most of their cars. But we're going to look
at. It was found in the boot of this Reliant Fox in 3 pieces.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. I've just demonetized my video, haven't
I? Yeah, probably.
Well, you can't win them all. Do you know, I've only had one so far that's been money limited.
Oh, that's quite going.
And who do you think that was? I'll go back in the chat to see if anyone guesses. Who do we think has been demonetized? Which, actually, I'll be honest, unfairly. I don't think there was any reason. No, not JM. JM is a consummate professional.
Hubnut.
Hubnut. I've only donated £2 for a can of links. Thank you, Zach. Number 27, number 27, number 27. Yeah, it's number 27. He wasn't that bad. He was pretty good. Misha was worse. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, there's much worse things in the world than swearing. I'm not fussed. It really doesn't bother me. But yeah, so there we go. Right.
Cover your answers. So I've got a choice of 3 for all of them. So multiple choice, so people can just make a best guess if they haven't got a clue.
So you've got a 33% chance of getting it right.
Yeah. Odds are in their favour.
Well, they're not, because they're less than 50, so.
So, yes, let's start. We're going to start with one that I think most people will find quite easy. What was the car driven by Simon Templar in The Saint? I'm waiting for some answers.
I'm going to struggle with this. You tell me when to say my answer, because I don't want to say it and then people copy, do we? So
we're looking for the car from The Saint. Oh, we've got some correct answer was Paul.
I think I know. I think I know.
But yeah, we've got some correct answers coming in. Hooked on Classics. Yeah, everyone's getting it. Oh, sorry, I didn't give anyone the choice of 3 there. But everyone's got it.
I think I know it.
What do you think It is.
I think it's a Volvo P1800S.
Yeah, correct. There is some
Very
people
pretty
saying that there
car.
is a later one that's an XJS, but I think most people associate the P1800 with the Saint, especially if you walk around their stall at the NEC.
How many times do people call a Volvo pretty?
Yeah.
That's
There's a
probably the
few
only
of those
time.
early ones, but yeah, the P1800 is something different in it.
Or what was it, PV544 wasn't too bad, was it?
Yeah.
That was in the Frighteners.
Oh, that's not on my list. You've not given answers away, don't worry.
No, there's no cops in that. It's just ghosts. And Marty, no, not Marty McFly. Michael J. Fox.
There might be some ghosts in some of these answers.
No.
So, second question for everyone. What year was the A-Team's GMC Vandura? Was it 1981, 1982, or 1983?
Oh, man. You can't tell because American cars don't have number plates that we have.
It'll be something to do with headlights or shape or something.
Oh, man. I'm well out of my comfort zone there.
Couple of answers coming in. But see my first correct one from Zach and from Roy Moto. Sorry, Ian, it's the year of the GMC Vandura by the A-Team. So 81, 82 or 83.
I've got that album.
Quite a few incorrect guesses on this one. Not.
I'm not surprised.
Quite a few 1 year outs, as a radio DJ might have going to say. Oh, Ian's got it. So, what's your guess?
I don't know, so I'm going to smack in the middle at 82.
Oh, 1 year out. 83.
Best year.
Right. We're going to move on to question 3 now. And the question is, what car did Detective Sergeant Jim Bergerac, what was he known to drive? Was it a 1948 Alvis, a 1949 Triumph, or a 1950 Singer?
I know that one. I can't remember the years you just said, but I know the make of the car.
Oh, Ian's first in there with it. Robin's got it right. Yeah, there's a few people guessing correct one.
That's a pretty car as well, isn't it?
It is.
Very
It is,
great car.
it's sold a couple of times and gone for not crazy money, but those kind of era of cars are always something that appeals to me anyway.
No, really? I wouldn't have guessed.
So what's your guess?
The Triumph.
Correct. Yes. Yep. And you might want to remember this question for later because there's a bonus question at the end that might be something to do with this.
Right.
Right. Moving on now to a bit of a spookier question. 2002 live action adaptation of Scooby-Doo. What was the mystery machine? Was it in a Bedford CF, a Chevy Astro van, or a Volkswagen LT van, LT40 van even?
What was the middle one?
A Chevy Astro van. So I've got a couple of questions in. No one.
Bedford CF.
This one's stumping a few people. I've not seen a correct answer yet. I think it's going to surprise a few.
Got me worrying now.
What do you think it is?
The Chevy Astro van.
No, it is the Bedford CF.
No, it's not.
Yeah, in the 2002 live action Scooby-Doo movie, it was the Bedford.
What, the one with the Buffy in it?
Yes.
The Bedford CF. In Hollywood. What was the Bedford CF doing in Hollywood?
Might have got lost. Taking a trip, you know. Someone said Bolingo.
I'll play Bedford.
That's for the
I'll play
next
Bedford MIDI. A Bedford CF.
Yeah.
With what's her Sarah Michelle Gellar in a Bedford CF.
Yeah.
Blown my mind.
Katie is
Blown my
correct.
mind.
It is quite. Katie's googled it and said it's quite a beefed up CF. They certainly put some body panels and things on it, but
To make it look like a Chevy Astro van.
Well, apparently a previous adaptation was based on a Chevy Astro van, which is why I threw it in to confuse people.
Well, you confused me.
Okay. Right. Maybe you'll do better on the next one. What car is the Ford Consul from the Sweeney often mistaken for? Is it a Ford Coupe, a Ford Cortina, or a Ford Granada?
I know. I'm pretty sure I know. My father-in-law, if he's watching this, he'll be screaming at the telly. But yeah.
Oh, we've got some correct answers coming in from Andy and Charlie and Hooked on Classic.
Hang on, when you say mistaken for, do you mean?
So a lot of people.
Hang on. So what? Mistaken for, like people see it and go, "Oh, that's a so and so," or when you say to someone, "What was the car in the Sweeney?" They go, "It was a."
The second one. The second one.
Ah, right. Okay, that changes things.
All right. So we've had quite a few correct answers. What was your answer the first time?
I was originally going to say the Granada.
Okay. And
that looks like the one you were talking about.
Okay.
But when you think Sweeney, you think Capri. Because it got
what? No, you were right the first time. It was the Granada.
What?
Yeah.
But the Granada looks like a console, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks more like the console.
Didn't it have? Hang on, I'm not thinking of the Sweeney. What am I thinking of? Professionals. I'm thinking of the Professional. That had a Capri in it. Yeah, no, I thought you meant like, yeah. Right, okay. Yeah, so I should have gone with my first answer.
Yeah, someone else has gone, you're thinking of the Professionals. So, yeah.
Bodie and Doyle.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, in 1966, Batman TV series, Batman drove a modified what? Was it a Lincoln Futura, a National Metropolitan, or a Ford Thunderbird?
National Metropolitan. Yes, a little.
Everyone's still fighting about Granadas and Capris in the comments. Guys, we're on Batman now. Oh, Charlie's got it. Stu's got it. Paul's got it. Lots of people saying the wrong answer. What do you think it is?
Well, I'm doubting myself now. I'm going to go with the Thunderbird.
That's a popular answer in the comments, but it's not the right one. It's a Lincoln Futura.
Yeah, well, I couldn't remember what the first one was.
Yeah, and Mr. BWA1 and also Lord Bungle have got it correct in that it is a George Barris creation. So he was the one that modified it.
I thought Thunderbird because Thunderbird's. Oh no, hang on.
Thinking of the wrong Batman again.
No, I was thinking of the one that like Superman. No, the one. No, I wasn't. No, I was thinking of a dashboard that had like a double bubble on it. Yeah, I realised that's the early Corvette. That's not the Thunderbird.
Oh right.
I remember seeing double bubble on the dashboard on that Batmobile. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing so badly today compared to last year. It's really.
Ian reckons he's doing pretty badly as well. Someone said I've touched it and got it wrong. So apparently they've seen the Batmobile car and got it wrong. Well, we've got a question now about the Avengers, not Marvel's Avengers, the original Avengers, and it is the Broadspeed Jaguar XJ from the Avengers sold in 2015. How much did it go for? Was it 12,000, 32,000, or 62,000?
That's just a complete pot shot guess for me.
I think we've got a. Oh, Robin's got it correct. Raymonto's got it correct. Your wife's worried that you know more about serial colour cars than TV cars. Steve Dull, Adventures in Rust, Spirit Iter.
Perfectly normal.
I'm sure Carly would agree.
Well, it's easy because if you're doing serial killer cars, you've just got to say Ford Fairmont, and you've got the answer to one of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Some serial killer somewhere will have had a Ford Fairmont.
So, what's your guess for this then? How much did it go for? 12, 32, or 62?
32. My age.
62,000. That conversation you were having earlier about cars going unexplainably pricey is definitely relevant here, I think.
Well, I don't know if it was in a famous TV program.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bang average car. Well, no, it was a broad speed. Is it a turbo conversion or something?
I don't know. Someone said the broad speeds are rare anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like crazy figures for a really rare Jag. But yeah, well, I knew I'd get it wrong. It was just a guess.
We've got a more modern one now, so we might have a chance. This is about DCI Vera Stanhope, and she can be seen traipsing around Northumberland in what? Is it a Land Rover Freelander, a Land Rover Defender, or a Land Rover Discovery?
I don't know who she is.
She's played by Brenda Blethlen. I can never say her last name.
What program is it?
It's called Vera on ITV. We've got loads of correct answers. Robin, Charlie, Jay, Gray.
Someone called Vera would drive a Defender, surely.
You're correct. Yeah, she would.
I'm quitting. I'm going home.
No, it's a very good program, and very, very Northumberland, and
I can't remember the last time I watched telly, like terrestrial telly.
I'm offended. Did you not watch me on telly the other week?
Yes.
Good answer. Good answer.
On that show with the people.
Yes.
And and that thing. Crazy. Really good. Really good TV
very good.
program.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you'll do quite well at this next one as well. I think
Citroen SM.
No, I'm afraid not.
The SM is like always got a baddie in it, hasn't it? It's not a cop.
You'd have to be a baddie to afford one.
Burt Reynolds, Longest Yard. Such a cool scene.
So number 10 is In Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, okay. I watched that one.
Yep. There's a infamous Audi Quattro that's owned by Gene Hunt. However, controversially, Ashes to Ashes is set in 1981, but Gene drives a modified model from what year? So is it a model from 1982, 1983, or 1984?
Oh, God.
So Richard's got it. Gray's got it. Stu. Paul. Hubnut's got it. Stefan. Fred. Ray Motto. Chris.
Raymondo, he was in Ashes to Ashes.
Honestly, I am in a Facebook group that is just people spreading rumours about it coming back and sharing memes related to it.
Yeah, I'm in the Ashes. I'm in a couple of Ashes to Ashes group, but they should do a 90s one, definitely.
Yeah, it's time. We need it.
Yeah, it would. But the problem is they kind of ended the story. So
yeah, that was a shock, and I got quite emotional there. So what's your guess for this then?
I'm going to
Still
go.
1981. When was the car actually from?
I think it was from 84.
It's 1 year out again. It's 83. Sorry.
I don't know Audis.
Neither did the TV producers.
No. Do you know that the funniest? I've got this meme which I found it ages ago, and it was I've got it saved on the computer somewhere, and it says "Time traveler moves a chair," like one of those ones. ... And then it's got "Ashes to Ashes," the actual font, but in the background is my BX, my 16 valve going around the corner, like leaning.
Going through
Someone's actually made that. Because like time traveler moves a chair, bang, he's got a bit. I was like, Gene Hunt would not drive a BX 16 valve. He'd say it was Ponzi or something like that.
The thing is that like everyone was really like who is into car things was really uproared by it, but then obviously the ending, it's all fictional anyway. It's all made up, and it's all somewhat of a dream. So yeah.
Yeah. But you know, I went to a
could have
petrol
whatever
station.
car he wanted.
Sorry?
You could have whatever car he wanted.
Well, yeah, I suppose, yes. So if I was DCI Drake?
Yes.
If I was her, then it might be a BX.
Yes.
I went to a Tesco petrol station once, and a woman at the thing asked me if my BX was the car from Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, see?
And I was like,
I think you need a sticker on it that says "Fire up the Quattro."
yeah.
Or "Fire up the 16 valve."
Yeah. Yeah, but not when it's warm, because it takes a bit of cranking when it's warm. But yeah, it was bright red with a black panel across the back.
Yeah.
Tinted lights, and I was like, yeah, it's almost the same.
Yeah. And the BBC only have like 3 actors and 4 cars anyway, so.
Yeah. I'm waiting for them to do a TV program where they need a smashed up DS, like a Withnail and I modern French remake or something.
Yeah, or a Maigret. That's a lovely French detective, or a Lupin. You could have a smash in that.
Yeah. So, well, I know it couldn't be actual French because it's right-hand drive, so it'd have to be like a French one in the UK.
Oh, right. Yes.
Going around solving like disgusting English crimes by disgusting English pig dogs or whatever they would call them, and like he's really grumpy, like Poirot. No, is he Belgian?
He's Belgian, yeah.
What's the next question?
So, in the TV show, Inspector Morse famously drove a Mark II Jag because John Thor insisted the character needed a British car.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yes. Neither did I until I researched this quiz. But what did he drive in the books? Was it a Lancia, a Fiat, or a Citroen? Oh, Steve's got it straight away. Zadster's got it. Spirituous. Robin, Andy, Lord Bungle. Everyone's.
I'm surprised it was any of them, to be honest. But I don't know. I mean, I just think John Thor. And I'm like, I can't see John Thor in a Citroen or a Fiat. Like, just does not look like the sort of guy. But I don't know. I mean, my gut would probably be Lancia because a Jaguar Mark II, a sporty car in many ways in its day, although his looks a bit more elegant rather than sporty. But then who could tell back in those days? I've driven a Mark II Jag, and they go one with a red badge on it, the big engine one, that went pretty well. And the only car close enough.
Suggesting Morse's Corsa. Ian says he doesn't know, so if you get it right, you'll have beaten him at this one.
Well, I'm just gonna say Lancia because it's the closest thing to the Jag, really. A Fiat's like a sort of communist Italian working car, and a Citroen's either for peasants or for ponces, he would say. So yeah, I'll go with Lancia because it's the closest thing.
You're correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
Morse would not drive a DS.
No. No, it wouldn't get the same kind of sweeping round Oxford kind of looks, I don't think.
No, the hipsters would like it too much.
Yeah, people are saying that Morse drove other cars in the TV series. Yes, he did, but I think he's most famously associated with.
Did he? I just thought I just thought the Jag was his car.
Yeah. Question 12. Line of Duty DS Arnott drives a BMW, a Vauxhall, or a Volvo. So a more modern one there. With all the Line of Duty always gets my students talking because they want to know what all of the abbreviations mean and all of that. So we've got
Socko.
Yeah, that's the easy ones. Ray Motto, Robin's got it. Stephen, Zach. Pollitt's given me the numbers and everything and the full vehicle. Yeah, a few people have got it. Some people have never heard of Line of Duty.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. So I'm going to go with I would either Volvo or Beamer. I would say Volvo's. I mean, really, it's just down to whichever manufacturer would have been pushing cars into the program.
But also, they're all cars that the police do use, so they were.
Police use the Volvo. Well, if it's a Volvo, it's going to be an SUV, isn't it? Because they don't make. I don't know. I suppose there are a few estates they could use. I think I'm going to go BMW because that's the most common cop car there is at the moment. I would say.
Oh, you were closer to start with. It was the Volvo. Sorry. You won't have me back next year.
Don't do quizzes that I don't know.
Only questions about Citroens.
And TVRs.
So, number 13. A 1962 TV series about British policing is believed by many to be named after the cars that they used, but it isn't. It's after the fictional radio call signs that they use in the show. Is it called M cars, S cars, or Z cars?
I know this one.
So Bungle's got it, Peter's got it, Hooked on
Everyone's going to get that.
Pollitt. Yeah, everyone's getting it.
Is Pollitt in the chat?
Yes, I think there's been some discussions about the fact he's supposed to be in bed.
You're up at 4, you madman.
So, tell us the show and then tell us what cars they used if you can remember. You can have an extra point for that.
Okay, well I could do
Not
the
that I'm
extra
keeping points.
Z cars.
Yes.
And I'm going to guess that they are one or the other. Zephyrs.
So it was both Zephyrs and Zodiacs.
Oh, I was gonna. Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't figure out the Z yet. Zodiacs or Zephyrs, and I thought which one's a sportier out of the two? I'll go Zephyr.
Yeah, no. So a lot of people think that it's named after them because they are Z cars. But the radio call that was put out to them, they had to come up with a fictional call sign for the area that it was set in to use over the radios, and so they referred to the police officers in those cars as Z car 1, Z car 2, and that's where it comes from.
Like V bombers.
Absolutely. Right. What have we got here? Number 14. You've only got one more question after this, and then the bonus question. Jimmy Nail starred as Sergeant Freddie Spender alongside a Ford Sierra Sapphire RS Cosworth in Spender. The first one was loaned by Dagenham, however, it was stolen and destroyed. How much did they have to pay a security guard to mind the replacement to prevent it facing the same fate?
Oh man, that is a really obscure question.
Was it £100 a day, £250 a day, or £400 a day?
This would have been in the 80s, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. People are saying a lot. Robin's got it. A lot of people thinking. Someone said £8.
I'm gonna go with.
Got it.
I'm gonna go with
Indecisive
400 because of how much the insurance was on those things back then. If you were trying to insure one for a TV show, it was cheaper to pay a guy £400 a day to mind it than it would be to pay for the insurance if it got nicked or something. So,
well, they must have got a bargain then, because it was £100 a day.
of course, it was £100. It was the 80s. Who would pay someone £400 a day in the 80s?
You wouldn't be a
equivalent now
security
of about
guard for very long.
£5,000.
Yeah, you wouldn't be a security guard for very long.
Yeah, you just do it for a week and then you retire.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, one last question. Coming to an absolutely quintessential British detective program.
Oh,
We've got
just my speciality.
Midsummer Murders. You must have seen one of those. My favourite thing about Midsummer Murders is that the dirty rag that is the Sun did a map once of all of the murders, where they happened, and all of the ways that they died. And it is something ridiculous. Like, this small village in the space of like 15 years had like 600 something murders.
I think the house prices there would be like non-existent.
And like
Should we live
300
there?
and something accidental deaths as well. It's
And no one suspected.
no.
I'd move.
I suspect Detective Barnaby, because it's definitely keeping him in a job.
He's obviously crap.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah, because they usually get to murder 3 before anything happens.
Yeah.
So, talking of Detective Barnaby, he had to hand back his beloved Rover 75 in 2005, and it was replaced. But why did he have to hand it back? Was it because of mechanical issues? Was it because of Rover's collapse? Or was it because of a flat tyre?
Hang on. So he had to hand it back, what, as part of the story?
So the car...
They had to stop using that car and use something else?
They had to stop using that car for filming.
What car did they replace it with?
I don't know off the top of my head, but Peter's got
it,
and Hubnut's got it. Oh, someone said alternator failure. What were you saying, sorry?
Ian's twitching in the comments. Well, I mean, I don't know. This is really, you're throwing loads of loads of bum steers out on this one. So, like, the obvious thing would be to say because Rover collapsed, but that's too obvious. It'll be something stupid like it had a flat tire.
No, I think you should go for the obvious for this one.
Okay, because Rover collapsed.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Rover had lent it to them and they needed it back because they didn't exist anymore.
They needed to sell it.
And apparently both in the TV show, Detective Barnaby was quite sad about it, and so was the actor. So
why didn't they just buy it?
I don't know. I don't know if is it BBC or ITV? I don't know.
Could have got a bargain. The administrator's obviously just going to flog it off.
Hubnut's informing us that Jaguars and Volvos came afterwards. So I assume Jaguar, being Rover related after that, probably took up the contract, and then
Jaguar? Yeah. No, Jaguar. Who had Rover after BMW got rid?
Was it not then when it came Jaguar Land Rover? Was that not all in?
No, they were separate. It was...
No, it's not my era, so I don't really know.
Or was it? No, it might have been. Did it go to the Chinese straight away? I can't remember. I've no idea. But yes. Yeah, Rover went bust.
Yes.
So that will be why he gave it
a question for people in the chat who have been here since the beginning of the quiz. One actor has played 2 detectives that have been mentioned in tonight's quiz. So who is that actor?
I know that one.
Peter's got it. Robin's got it. Zoinks, Stu, Charlie. Yeah, everyone's getting it. What's your answer?
John Thor.
No.
What?
No, John Nettles. John Nettles was Bergerac, and he's Detective Barnaby.
What's that in?
Midsummer Murders. Oh,
John Thor in
someone is correcting me. Thor is in More Sam the Sweeney. Yeah, so it's all right. You can have a bonus point.
Thank you.
I do wonder whether Nettles preferred the Rover to the Triumph. Someone said in the chat that the Triumph he drove for Bergerac he didn't enjoy a lot, and he was obviously quite sad about the.
I think I've remembered something about the Triumph, like overheated a lot, or it was something that was difficult to drive through narrow streets, and like, I mean, that's old cars. They don't drive that well, a lot of them. So
there's a lot of people like he hated the Triumph.
What was it? A Triumph Mayflower or something?
Roadster? Triumph Roadster?
I can turn the chat back on now.
Oh, apparently they got John Nettles back in Antiques Road Trip, which if you don't watch TV, you won't know what it is. And they had the Triumph and they put him in it and he hated it even more. Yeah, Hubnut saying Roadster.
Oh dear, there's a lot of comments here. He hated the gearbox, that was it. The Triumph wasn't as reliable as Morse's Mark II. Morse's Mark II, I mean, as I say, I think, was it Mark II? Or would they call it an S-Type? I don't know. I had a 3.8 Jag-in a couple of years ago, and it's the first time I'd driven one of them, and it was all right.
Yeah.
It went okay. Like, it's not going to take your face off, but by modern standards, it wasn't slow. And I thought, oh God, that's from the 60s.
There's a Daimler version of that that's near me, and I am obsessed with it because it's like properly patinaed and it's clearly used. They just park it on the street. I saw it out in winter, which is just very much my style in terms of using the car all year round, and it just looked excellent, and I love seeing it out and about. And clearly quite a happy car to keep going. People are saying that the V8 in it is their own, is Daimler's own, but the styling is quite, it's the same look.
Yeah, the Daimler V8 was like a really small. It was like 2.5 litre, I think. Because it's the same as in the Dart, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's the same engine in the Dart. So whereas the Jag had the straight six. The funny thing with the Jags is if you get the 2.4 or 2.6 straight six, they're still quite cheap. They're not huge money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hemi Head. Yeah, that's the one.
Simone's asked how Peggy's engine's doing. The engine's fine. It's everything else that's the problem, Simone, but we're getting through.
I saw recently, I'm so far behind on everything. You had the engine. Here comes the yawns. I need to get something caffeine, don't I? I saw something recently where the engine let go on it, and then you had it put back together as a surprise for your women's drivers.
Yes. So the engine cracked on both the block and the head, so we had to get a new engine. Yes, it was quite sad.
How? It's iron, isn't it?
Yeah, it's and the one on the head in particular was not a small crack either.
Someone windy gun the head on or something.
So
hang on, is that before or after the TV program?
After.
What do they do in the TV program?
Engine work.
Is this an awkward conversation?
A little bit. No, it was mostly other stuff that they worked on. It's just something else that's gone. So it's unfortunate, but I've managed to salvage quite a lot from that old engine to either keep as spares or turn into interesting pieces of furniture and stuff for the house. But yeah, so we got this new engine, went to put it in. We had some amazing friends, Yael and Tash, who came over from North Wales to help us put it in. And we had the engine in and out about 8 times because we couldn't get it to mate up to the gearbox because I've got a non-standard gearbox. So I learned a lot about putting a Morris Minor engine in and out in that week. And in the end, we thought it's not going to make it to the Women Drivers Social Meet, which was really sad for me because it's like the first time that my car's not made it to something, especially something that I'd organised.
Yeah.
And I had to go work the next day and just didn't have a chance to do it. But yeah, my mum, my dad and my sister, bless them, they weren't working that day. So we were able to do one last attempt at putting it in and changing the one last thing that we'd noticed was a problem. And it fixed, it worked. And my first try on this completely unknown engine was driving to the Cotswolds to spend a weekend with the wonderful women from the Women Drivers Social Club. There's a few of them in the chat, your wife included. But yeah.
She's probably asleep now.
But yeah.
So is it okay at the moment, or is it?
Yeah, so this engine is going brilliantly, and it didn't have any wear on the bores. The pistons had no carbon, no nothing on them. I don't think it did many miles before it was taken out of a car when it was scrapped. So it's done very well and I'm hoping it's going to put quite a few miles on and save me in that regard. I've just had other things like my clutches went last weekend, and again, brilliant friends helped me out with that because I'm still learning so much.
I'm guessing the problems you had putting the engine back in were probably clutch alignment.
No. So
No?
because I've got a 5-speed gearbox, there's this tiny spigot bearing that goes in the end of the crankshaft that is there for your standard box, but when you do the conversion to a 5-speed, you take it out because the spigot bearing gets moved to the flywheel. So yeah, no,
okay.
It surprised everyone. We rang up the people that make the conversion kit and said, why won't the gearbox go into gear? Why won't it mate with the engine? And they didn't even come up with that as a
Wow. How unusual to have a spigot bearing in a flywheel.
Yeah, it's part of.
It would work. Yeah, but yeah, I've not seen that before.
But the problem we were having is that a tiny spigot bearing meant that the gearbox was never disengaging when you press the clutch, so you could never get it into gear. And so once you got that out,
it was locking against the crank, basically.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, because we could see on the drive shaft this little bronze marking from where it had been rubbing against that spigot bearing.
Right.
So all dealt with now, and I've got the tiny little spigot bearing as a remembrance of all the trouble it caused us that week. But yeah,
I'd have thrown it in a bush.
My friend Yael and Tash were like, "Just put a standard gearbox in. Just put a standard gearbox in." They're like,
"No, I like my 5-speed box."
You could sell the 5-speed box, and you would have like so much money that you could just do all this other stuff with the car. And I'm like, but it's so nice for fuel economy when I take it on silly adventures. So yeah, but it's all working now. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. It's
But yeah, absolutely. Carly. It was so lovely to get Peggy there, and my parents surprised me with the fact that they'd fixed it. They took me round to their house after I'd finished work, and my car was facing the opposite way round to the way that I'd left it because we'd been doing the work at their house. And I was like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "Take your bloody car away. We're sick of it on the drive. We finished it."
Oh,
Burst into
that's nice.
tears. Yeah.
No, that's good. Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose I should go and prepare for the next guest because I've just seen that he said in here that he sat in his pants. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want that.
Thank you all for taking part in the quiz, and I hope it was fun. And if you're a woman who loves driving in the chat, then check out the Women Drivers Social Club on Facebook. And we will be at the NEC as well with our stand for the first time. So that's really exciting.
Ruddy spigot bearings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. No, thanks for that. I would say I enjoyed it, but I feel.
Ian's saying, "What about podcasts?" Yeah, I do those as well. Passenger seat podcast on here and also on podcasting platforms, all recorded from the Morris Minor so that you can hear the engine making all of the noises.
Apart from the one that was recorded from the singer Chamois.
Yes, of course. And we're supposed to be doing one in Jamie's Triumph at some point once it stops being a temperamental Triumph.
Well, you'd be like, "Hello, welcome to Passenger Seat Podcast." Like, the wind blowing and everything, the microphone going mental.
Done one in there, and it was surprisingly good actually. But yeah, that was when Jamie first got it, and we were talking to him about what he thought about it, and he was probably a lot more positive then than he is now.
What are you thinking about it now, Jamie? Don't talk to me about that bloody car.
Yeah. I think it's about 3 times a day he threatens to sell it. So
yeah,
but it's still here, which
because you can't sell it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It stopped shaking above 50. It's now doing other things because it's a try. It does more than 50, but it didn't before because it felt like you were in a massage chair.
Yeah, don't talk about massage chairs and make me fall asleep. So.
Anyway, you've got somebody else coming on.
Yes, I've got to speak to
trousers on.
James Walsh of Practical Classics magazine.
Oh.
He's a bit of a Citroen man, so this will probably be quite a Citroen heavy one next, but we'll see if we can get him to slag people off as well, because that'd be funny. But yeah. No, cheers for that. That was good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speak to you again soon.
All right, then.
Keep donating, everyone. Keep donating.
Yeah, definitely keep doing that. Is Ellie going on the dyno tomorrow? If people keep donating, maybe, yes.
Excellent.
All right, then. Cheers.
Cheers.